up, guys? Told you I'd get better at this. I'm a slow learner, but I do learn some. Here we go. Get the comments up right here. We will see what's going down. There we go. All right, we already got some people in here. Well, welcome back. I think we're going to just kind of, why not make this a weekly thing, live stream Q&A, and I can talk to you guys, give you my top 5 baits for the week, and just answer some questions as we go along. Look at that, we're getting some people. Be sure y'all hit me up in the chat box and give me your questions, and I will be happy to answer them as we go along. All right, there's some people. What's up? Jason Cobb, Buzzy Grund. That's a new one, I think. Jeff Tripp's back. What's happening, Jeff? And Austin Iben. How you doing, sir? Good to see all y'all. Appreciate y'all commenting. A couple things. Tomorrow, if you happen to be local, if you're going to be in the Lake Fork area, tomorrow we've got a free seminar. Me and another guide or two doing a free seminar at the Lake Fork Tackle Store in Emory, Texas. It's at the intersection of Highway 69 and 515. It's like, there's only 2 big lights in Emory, Texas, and it's at one of them, so you really can't miss it. But, so, the main man, Billy. What's up, everybody? Ryan Johnson, Michael Bowman, MSU kicker. What is MSU? Which one was MSU kicker? I see you on here all the time. I'd be curious to know, what college is MSU? Is it Michigan State? Is it Missouri State? Is it Mountain State School for the Blind? We don't know. Where's MSU? All right, the other thing is bassbug.com. For you guys that enjoy this type of stuff where y'all can just kind of chat back and forth with me, you can literally do it every single day at bassbug.com. So it's an outdoor forum. It's ran by an awesome guy named Rob Lay's doing a great job with it. It's new. It's not really, real big yet, but it's growing. So get in there, get involved at bassbug.com, sign up, get you an account, and holler at your boy. Coming to Fort tomorrow. This is a question from Country Deluxe. Coming to Fort tomorrow, what's the best lure to use right now? Usually fish Mustang and Williams Creek. Well, that is a great segue. Thank you very much there, Country Deluxe. That's a great segue. We'll go ahead and knock out top 5 baits right now, and then I'll start answering all your questions. Top 5 baits. You guys that watched the videos earlier in the week saw this bait on there a little bit. Bluegill swim jig. This one, the skirt's all jacked up. I got to tie a new one on. The skirt is just getting shredded on this swim jig because I've caught so many fish on it. I ride them until they're completely broken. The skirt is falling apart on me. But the bluegill pattern swim jigs with just a little swim bait trailer on it, 3/8 ounce. That's a 6 cents Divine swim jig. That is a bad swim jig. It's got a great bait keeper on there that'll help you save a lot of trailers. I've had the same trailer on there for many days now. So 6 inch lures, bluegill swim jig. That's my first top 5 bait of the week right there. Second top 5 bait of the week, that old Black's Pro Popping Frog's been on there for a minute too. He's actually, I got to change him out too. He's taking on water. He's getting all chewed up. He's got holes in him. We're still working him though. If you guys didn't see yesterday's video, make sure you check it out. It's titled Lake Fork Bass Fishing, Why Am I Sharing This? I showed you a couple little secrets, a couple little tricks on these first 2 lures on how I'm fishing around the grass to get a lot of bites right now. Third is the Lake Fork Tackle Frog. We've really gone to that fast retrieve on all of these baits that were buzzing over this grass. And when you're running them fast, that Lake Fork Tackle Frog is the one you want. So make sure you check that one out. It definitely has the right action at the high speed that the Rivet and the Zoom Horny Toad just don't have the right kick at that high speed retrieve. And this is one right here that you can always count on, the Lake Fork Tackle Flipper. That's on a 1 ounce weight. I got this rigged as a punch rig. That grass is really starting to mat up in some places. And when you get on those post-frontal days that don't have any wind and a lot of sunshine, if you can't buy a bite on anything else, you can pick up this punching rig and you can go to work with this bait right here and you can still catch a lot of fish and a lot of times some of your very biggest bites. Last year, the 2 biggest fish that I caught, me personally, were punching grass with that bait right there. One of them was with a jig with this bait as a trailer punching grass, and the other one was just like this, rigged with a big 1 ounce weight and a 4 or 5 straight shank, heavy gauge, extra heavy gauge flipping hook. So, Lake Fork Tackle Flipper, that's my number 4 bait of the week. And number 5, I'm giving you guys to this. First, let me say this. We've reached the time of year when there is literally 25 to 30 different ways to catch them on any given day. There's fishing 0 feet to 30 feet. And you can catch them any way you want to. So really, kind of, if you want to crank them, crank them. If you want to flip, flip. If you want to throw spinner baits and buzz baits, whatever you want to do, you can literally get bites on it right now. So I'm throwing one of these deep techniques in here just to kind of give you guys something to look at. This is a football jig, Santone Lures, 3/4 ounce football jig. That's kind of the color. It's a green and orangish brownish color. That's actually a custom skirt that I tied myself. That's kind of the color I like on my football jigs, a green and an orange. You can take that anywhere in the country and catch fish on it for sure with that green and orange. But right now, I cannot find a bait keeper. Wow. Right now, out here in East Texas, on our lakes that have a lot of good deep offshore structure, there's a lot of fish, not a lot, but there's some big fish starting to get stacked up out there and grouped up on these points. And there's not much better than a 3/4 ounce football jig with a rage crawl trailer to target giant offshore post spawners. So that's number 5. If I was fishing offshore, that'd be my first tool and the one I'd spend the most time with in my hands, just because it's going to target those bigger fish. And when you're fishing out there offshore in the middle of the ocean, you're not going out there to catch little ones. So get that football jig in your hand. All right, let me go back up here and see what questions I missed. What should you throw when fishing for post-spawn bass? Well, hey, I just gave you 5 things to throw. It all depends on your lake. When you get into post-spawn, there's a lot of different ways to catch them. One thing that I have noticed, is all these techniques that we're talking about, all these techniques that we're using, I'm using pretty big rods on all of them. It's power fishing time, guys. These fish are hungry. They want a big meal. When I finesse with a punching rig and heavy vegetation. On days when it's tough, I get around the heaviest cover I can and I flip it. What's a good Keitech Swing Impact Fat substitute? You like the one on that swim jig. Okay, that bait right there, I just have a few left. That's actually a discontinued bait. It's called a Kickerfish Tail Slapper. That company shut down. That bait has been discontinued. But I'm just using up the last of that color just to kind of get rid of them. But Heath Taylor, Smash Tech, right here. Smash Tech Custom Baits. He has one called the Smash Tail and Smash Tail Junior. That is the bait that I use on my swim jig trailer as a swim bait. It's going to be that Smash Tail. So go to SmashTechCustomBaits.com. Check it out. Smash Tail and Smash Tail Junior. Fishing in the city. What's up? Mail you one of those Lake Fork frogs? Hey, I can mail you a Lake Fork frog, Jason Cobb. Look, you're the first to ask, so you're going to get it. But I can't mail frogs to everybody. But Jason Cobb, if you will send me your address, I will happily mail you a couple of those Lake Fork frogs. That's an ugly bait. Oh my goodness, I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me, guys. Whew. Man, I really apologize for sounding nasally. I've sounded nasally all week on all the videos. It's just, man, I've got some allergies. These late cold fronts have screwed something up. Got my allergies messed up. D.W. Matthews, hit me up. Let me know what bait you're calling ugly, because that kind of hurts my feelings. I like my baits. Bluegill colors is right. When I'm fishing, the offshore colors are bluegill colors too. But really, if you see some of the crayfish that we have in northeast Texas, that green, pumpkin, and orangish brownish is a very good mimic of them as well. So you kind of get 2 for 1 on that green and orange color, bluegill and crayfish. Caught your first jig fish at Fork. Heck yeah, buddy. There you go. What? Oh, shoot. I went too far. What technique can you get away using a cheap, medium heavy rod? A lot. Most of your moving baits, you don't need a lot of feel because you're winding the bait, you're going to feel it when they hit it. So like that swim jig, you don't really need a real sensitive rod. I like my limit rods, and they're really great, and I think they're a great value at $130 to $150. They are phenomenal rods, top end, high quality rods. But I spent a lot of years throwing them $49 All-Star Classics and them Academy H2O rods back in the day. I threw them for a long time, and they work just fine on most of your moving baits. On my slow moving stuff, I like to have a more sensitive, high end, high dollar, well made rod. Am I dragging or hopping that football jig? To be honest with you, I'm not really fishing it. Very little. I put that on there because there's a lot of guys catching fish on it. And I wanted to show some different techniques and let you guys know that the deep bite is on. I'm still catching fish really shallow, and that's where I'm spending most of my time. But I'm going to tell you, I know from knowing those guys, the answer is, are you dragging or hopping? The answer is yes. Some of them are dragging it, some of them are hopping it, and a lot of them, most of them are doing both. Just depends on if the fish are glued to the bottom, they're dragging it. If the fish are up off the bottom, they're stroking it. You see me up in Little Caney throwing a baby duck, huh? I don't think so, man. I don't own no baby ducks. I do own some big frogs and big swim baits, though. When we're fishing offshore, what depth are you targeting? Has to be bait cover. What's the average depth? In the dead heat of summer. Okay, so that's going to change. Right now, the fish are actually a lot deeper. The offshore fish are deeper right now than they will be in the dead heat of summer. Once we get in the dead heat of summer, that thermocline starts to set up, and the thermocline starts to rise. It pushes those fish up into that kind of 15 to 20 foot range. They settle in around 15 usually. Somewhere in that 15 to 20 though. Right now, you can actually catch them out as deep as 30 feet. The little bit that I have spent time looking on my graph and being out there, there's a lot of fish in 25 to 30 feet at the end of long, slow tapering main lake points that drop off into the main channel. What time am I going to be around LFT tomorrow? Haven't fished Fork in over 10 years, hoping to get back at it regularly. Thanks for the answer. Okay, I will be at LFT tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm going to be there about 5 o'clock. Come see me. And the seminar will start at 6. 6 o'clock is when the seminar for LFT is tomorrow. Sorry I didn't announce that earlier. I forgot that part. Last time I went by the dam and looked, yes, they are letting, somebody asked, are they letting water out of Fork right now, causing current? Is it affecting the fish movement at all? Not really, because we've got as much water coming in as is going out. We just got dumped on again today. They are letting water out the last time I saw it, and I'm sure they are now because we got a hard rain today too. It's not really affecting the fish because even though there's current flowing, the water's not really dropping. So they're staying up in that really shallow flooded stuff. Yeah, the owner, so somebody asked about we're talking about those swim baits and the owner flashy swimmer. If you're throwing that owner flashy swimmer, that Smash Tail and Smash Tail Junior is great. And then Smash Tail makes another one called the Minnow that's phenomenal on that flashy swimmer. So check out that one too. Do I think tungsten is that much better than lead? You have a problem with it chewing my line up? I can see when punching, but not any other time. Man, I always use tungsten. like I said, I want a lot of sensitivity when I'm crawling that bait or when I got a slow moving bait on the bottom. And that tungsten is 100% significantly more sensitive than lead. Let me see what I got here. I'm going to show you something else you guys can pick up at the Lake Fork Tackle Store. And this is a new product that's not fully released yet. The website is coming out. I haven't really been pushing it because, to my knowledge, it's not really available online and everything yet. But you can buy it at the Lake Fork Tackle Store in Emory. I'm going to go ahead and show you this product. That right there, can you guys see that little black thing above my bait, between my bait and the hook? That's called a knot shield. It's kind of like a bobber stop. You slip, you pull your line through it, and your line goes right through it, and then it just sits right down on your knot, and then it protects. When your weight bangs right there, it protects your knot. That solves all your tungsten issues right there. It's called Knot Shield. I will link it and update you guys when they get all the internet stuff up and ready to go. But it's a pretty slick little product. Real convenient. It will solve that problem of your line getting nicked up and chafing from that tungsten. I use it. I've been lucky to get my hands on it early, and I use it on every single thing, Carolina rig, Texas rig, anything where I've got a tungsten weight involved, I'm using it. It's on the counter at Lake Fork Tackle Store, by the way, right now. Good evening to you, Josh McCown. Midwestern State University, where all the lakes are dried up in Wichita Falls. Got you, MSU kicker. Hey, that's good to know. Now I know. Inquiring minds. Preferred method for fishing lily pads, a frog. Seriously though, a frog and a swim jig. That's my two things that I 100% go to before anything else in lily pads. Jeff Tripp asked again, when targeting deep bass, what depths do I concentrate on most? Well, like I said, that changes. Right now, they're deep, 25 to 30 foot. In the summer, they go a little bit shallower. Typically, on most of these East Texas lakes around here, that 15 to 20 foot range most of the year is going to have fish in it. Got your son hooked on jigs and frogs on your last fishing trip. Is it a great time or is it going to get better? Right now, and for about the next 3 or 4 weeks, frogging is as good as it gets on these lakes around here. And as far as jigs go, the swim jig is on fire right now. What is the deepest I've caught a bass at Lake Fork? Probably 30 feet. There's a few guys I've heard of catch them in like 40 in the wintertime. In the wintertime, I'm up in a creek channel somewhere. Yeah, probably close to 30 feet, 28, 29, right around 30 feet. And it's this time of year. Water temps have been hovering in the lower half of 70s right now. Starting in the mornings, they're around 70. Usually by the end of the day, they're 74, 75. Hot days, sometimes they get up higher than that. But in the lower half of 70. What's a good crank that runs 2 feet? Or what line size if using something that dives 4 to 5? Since line can control your depth. But I got a crankbait for you. It's a unique crankbait. There's not another one like it. It has such an incredible action. If you want a crankbait for 2 feet, you go buy the 6 Sense Movement 80X. That's no Pro Staff plug. Yes, I'm on the Pro Staff. That's not a Pro Staff plug. That is the best shallow water crankbait made. It's very unique. There's nothing else like it. 6 Sense Movement 80X. You will not be disappointed. Hey, Country Deluxe. Look forward to seeing you at the seminar tomorrow, buddy. Glad you're coming. What line on the punching rig? 50-pound braid, 50-pound Power Pro braid on my punching rig. Do I like wacky rigs? Yes, I like wacky rigs. They are, especially when the bite's tough, they're the number one bite getter you can throw. If I only had three, that's a good question. Alan Salt Cruz, this is a great question. If I only had three rods and reels, what are they? All right, first one is going to be a 7-foot medium heavy. I can do almost anything I want to with a 7-foot medium heavy. The second one is going to be a 7.4 to 7.6 extra heavy. And the third one is going to be a 6'10 medium. With those three rods, I can do anything from an Alabama rig and swim baits to weightless trick worms with a bait caster. Have I ever fished Stillhouse Hollow? I have never fished Stillhouse Hollow. Sorry about that, Chris Martin. Never been there. DW Matthews, I tell my buddies fishing is 75% luck, 25% skill. What do you think the ratio is? For somebody that just fishes every once in a while, probably 50-50 would be my guess. For guys like us, it's about 90-10, 90 skill, 10 luck. The guys out here that we fish every day and fishing, I don't fish every single day because I've got another job and all that, but the guys that fish as much as I do and even more than I do, it's 90% skill, 10% luck. There is no doubt. I mean, there's certain guys that catch them certain times of the year, every single year. My buddy Andrew Grills, who some of y'all may have seen on the channel back before we got busy in the spring, when it comes to January and February, he will kick your butt. You could bring anybody in the country down here. I don't care who it is, what Elite Series Pro it is. You bring them to Lake Fork in the wintertime, and he will consistently beat them every single day. It's not luck. It's not luck. There's a reason that KVD won all them tournaments for 5 years in a row. There's a reason that the top 10 of the Elite Series doesn't just change out every single year. There's a lot of the same guys. It's not luck. Somebody's starving. They got to go. There you go, Matt Carville. You will not be disappointed in that Movement 80X, bud. Yep, 6 cents crankbaits. Look, man, I'm on their pro staff, but every staff that I'm on, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not on the pro staff of these bait companies because, I wanted a pro staff deal. I know each and every one of them personally. I knew them before I was on their pro staff. I was pumping Smash Tech baits before I paid full price for every bait I got for a year, 2 years before he ever put me on there. I'm not going to be on a pro staff of baits that I don't believe in. And 6 cents lures, best hard baits on the market, my personal opinion. So I'm proud, very proud to be on this pro staff because I do feel that way. Never fished Belton Lake. Any of those South Texas lakes besides Falcon? The answer is no. Or Central Texas? Sorry. I've never been to Virginia, period. So no, I have never fished in Virginia. Smash Tech does not put scent. Somebody asked to Smash Tech make their bait scented. Smash Tech does not put any scent on their baits. His belief in that is that, different people like different scents. So he makes them scentless and lets you put your own scent on them. He will do custom pours. Yeah, if you want a custom pour in a swim bait, he will do custom pours. You got to order him, pretty good amount. You got to order pretty bulk. But give him a call. His number's on the website. Give Heath Taylor a call, and he will do custom pours for you. Matthew Carville, you want to see a 2017 rod and reel arsenal breaking down techniques? Yeah. Okay. Hey, Matt Carville, I'm sorry, man. I know somebody asked, it may have been you a couple weeks ago about doing a full review on those limit rods. I can do that. We will get that coming up soon. We may do that next week on the live stream. Jeff Tripp, tell Rob he needs to come fish with me. Rob is a busy man. And yes, he has done a lot for me and my family. He's an awesome guy. Yep. We appreciate you keeping us in your prayers, buddy. Rob's a busy guy. I would love to tell you that I could send Rob to come fish with you, but the odds of that happening are slim to none. That dude, I thought I was busy, and I am busy, but he blows me out of the water. Wife's still plugging along. Somebody's asking about my wife. For those that don't know, my wife has breast cancer. She's going through chemo. She's already had her surgery. She's got radiation coming up later in the summer. She's got 2 more chemo treatments left, and then a small break, and then radiation. It's all relative, but considering everything that she's going through, she's doing really, really well. So thank you for asking, and thank you guys for keeping us in your thoughts and prayers. What companies am I on the pro staff of? I'm on the pro staff for Lake Fork Tackle, Smash Tech Custom Baits, 6 Sense Lures, Limit Rods. That's who I'm on the pro staff of. I'm not on the pro staff of Skeeter Boats. I buy my boat at full price. I do not. I talk them up and I advertise them because I believe in them. I'm open and honest, and I'll tell you guys what I'm using. That's like earlier I said a Rage Crawl. That's a Strike King bait. I'm not on Strike King's pro staff. But if I'm using it and I believe in it, then I'll tell you guys that's what I'm using and it works. Skeeter Boats, my opinion, best bass boat made. Alan Soul Cruise. Hey, my number's at the end of all the videos. My number's on my website. Alan Soul Cruise, shoot me a text about that private pond deal. We might be, it may not be on that particular day, but sometime in the future we might do that, okay? MSU Kicker, you're out of college now and live near Lunkers where the lakes have water but small bass. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. Thoughts on the Boom Boom swim bait? I don't know. I'm not familiar with the Boom Boom swim bait, Andy Bolin. I'm sorry, bud. Hey, I appreciate you saying that. I'm very fortunate to, Jason Cobb said it's a sick lineup for pro staff. I agree. I am so happy to be on the pro staffs that I'm on. I'm very, very fortunate. I've worked hard to get there, but I'm very fortunate. Speaking of Skeeter Boats, how much will they come down off of retail price, or will they at all? That is up to your dealer. And the answer 9 times out of 10 is no or not much. It ain't much for me. I get a little bit of a break from my dealer. He helps me find the best deal he can for me. But as far as coming off the price, it is what it is. Them guys are running a business. They got to make some money too. Now, Skeeter does do a lot of things where they offer rebates and stuff like that. Like this last boat, when I bought this boat back in November, they had a rebate going on. I ended up getting like $5,000 off, $4,500 off or something like that because they had a bunch of rebates going on. If I'm in a kayak and I'm staying at Fisherman's Inn on Lake Fork, is there any good spots around there? And if so, what presentation should I throw? You're talking about right now in the immediate future, I'm assuming? What you want to do, and I'm going to tell you, it does not matter where you go on Lake Fork right now. You can go to Cheney Creek, you can go to Mustang Creek, Williams, Birch, north of 2946, up the East Arm, all over the lake right now. The deal is, go to the back of the creek, find the flat, find the grass, and put that swim jig and that frog in your hands. And if they don't bite neither one of those, go to flipping that grass. If you do those 3 things and you don't get bites, you just had a bad day, bad luck. I mean, those 3 things should get you some bites and get you some good quality bites. You're not going to catch the most numbers on those techniques right now. There's other ways to go about catching numbers, but they're a little bit more risky, a little bit more hit or miss. With those 3 techniques, you should catch fish every day and some good quality size fish. Do I use any line conditioner? Joe Mullis, I do not use line conditioner because I use my line so much that it stays stretched out pretty good. Back in the day when I only fished, maybe one time a week, one time every other week, long time ago, I used line conditioner, but not anymore. And I just use whatever the kind is you buy at Walmart in a blue spray can. I don't even know what it was called. Yep, I got some big swim baits. Jason Cobb says, I know you got some big swim baits. Do I throw them often? And what am I throwing? I do have big swim baits. I've got some glide baits, and I've got some big soft baits. So my deal is on the big baits, I do better on them in the fall. Right now, if I've got a customer that just wants to target big fish, then I will throw them right now. I tend to throw the bluegill patterns right now. When I want to go up shallow and throw those big weedless plastic swim baits in some type of a bluegill color, that's what I do right now. The bluegill are starting to bed, the bass are coming off the beds. It's perfect time for that. The glide baits and the shad pattern big baits for me is primarily a fall deal. October, November, December. That's kind of when I throw it in the first half of December. And I'm throwing the Smash Tech Convict. I'm throwing the Rago weedless. I know there's some others. Those are my two main soft baits that I throw a lot. I'm gonna throw that new gizzard of Heath in the fall for sure. I may throw some. I may throw some right now. He's got some stuff he's working on for me. And then on the glide baits, I throw the 6-inch flow glider. I throw the HPH gliding gizzard, and the Gancraft jointed claw. Those are probably the three that I stick with on my glide baits. Never hear me talk about drop shotting. It's because I don't like to do it. Catches a lot of fish. I just don't like to do it. When I'm fishing offshore structure, am I hitting it with a marker buoy or dropping down right on top? I'm looking to try some offshore stuff once our weather breaks and the fish finally go deep. If I get on a deep bite, guys, when I get on a deep bite, here probably in the pretty near future, hopefully, I'm going to do a full breakdown on how I use my electronics. And what I do is I don't use a marker buoy, I use my waypoints as my marker buoy. I like to scan that school of fish several times, mark in each side of it, and I have my graphs linked, so when I mark it on my console, it shows up on my bow. When I get on my trolling motor, I can see all those waypoints, and I can stay outside of them and throw across that school of fish. That's how I like to do it. Yeah, I know the HUD 68s are great. I'm not a big, I'm not a high volume big swim bait thrower. I'm not one of those guys that gets. I enjoy catching them however they bite. You ask me what my favorite technique is, it's whatever gets the next bite. Yep, Racetail Space Monkey is a great bait. Drop shotting, what is that? Yeah, Jason Cobb, I'm with you there. I never really have liked to do it. I'll tell you what, the Lake Fork Tackle makes a bait called the needleworm. I do drop shot with that some. But I drop shot a little different. I mean, I'm using a 1/2 ounce weight. I'm using 15-pound line. It's kind of a Texas style, bigger gear style drop shot. And the needleworm's like 9 inches long. But it's a long, skinny, tapered worm. Has a crazy action. I do catch a lot of fish on that. Alrighty. Let's see. That's been 30 minutes. Well, tell you what, guys. 30 minutes. I think that's going to be good for tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Hey, we're going to keep doing these on Thursday night, 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'll announce it every day. I'm announcing it on Facebook and Instagram before we go live. Let your buddies know. Get them subscribed to the channel. Have them come on here and ask us some questions. I'm really enjoying this. I mean, it's a lot of work doing all these videos, but this live stream, getting to talk to you guys, is probably what I like the most out of all the videos that I do. And I know it's not the most artistic and creative, but I really enjoy getting to talk to you guys, and I'm hoping that I can help you out a little bit. And guess that's it. There's still some comments coming in. No, I don't like drop shotting. I hate drop shotting, okay? Leave me alone. No, I mean, I finesse fish. I just don't like to drop shot. If I'm finesse fishing up shallow, I'm throwing a wacky worm. Out deep, I will throw the drop shot when I have to. I try not to. You got to remember where I'm fishing most of the time. Fishing for big fish. I don't want to catch some little ones, especially when I go out deep. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like catching little fish. I catch them all, but I like to try and target the bigger fish. And when you're drop shotting, I feel like you're just begging some little ones to bite. So that's how we do. Ryan Johnson, if you hurry up and get your question, man, I'll hit you up. Ryan Johnson, give me your questions right now, and I will answer them for you real quick. All right. Let's see. He's got 5, 4, 3. Type faster. Hurry. Type 2, One. Do I crank the deep bite? Yes. Yes. Look, I showed you my top 5 baits because that's kind of my thing. I do a top 5 baits, but watch this. That's a 25-foot oversized crankbait right there by 6 cents. That's the Cloud9 series C25. So, yep, I do crank them. All right, well, there we go. Hey, appreciate you guys watching. Tell your buddies. Let's get a bigger crowd next week. We appreciate you guys watching your Lake Fork Guide channel as always. Give up. I can't type that fast. I see you, Ryan Johnson. I see you. So we will see you guys next week. Man, I should have took this hoodie off. It's hot in this garage. I'm sweating. A little sheen for y'all. I was trying to look good for y'all. That's it. Now I'm just talking to myself. See y'all next week. Appreciate you watching your Lake Fork Guide as always. And yeah, that's it. Awkward ending. My specialty. Holler at your boy.